Home, the champions of Africa, Mamelodi Sundowns, who beat Zamalek in the CAF Champions League final over the weekend. They're arriving from Egypt. Their plane has actually touched down, but we're outside. This is where all the official proceedings. We have a number of dignitaries that are going to address the public and the fans that have come out before going to work to actually welcome home the team. One of those dignitaries is the president of the South African Football Association, Dr. Jordaan. He joins us now here on A Morning Live. A very good morning to you and welcome to the show.
Well, it's wonderful. You can look at the atmosphere to welcome the African champions. The last time that this country paraded an African champions in 1996 when Neo Toby won the African Cup of Nations in this country. And it's been a long wait. It's 2016. And now we have an African champion again. Well, congratulations to Pizzo and the players and to Patrice Motsepe, who's worked hard and drove the vision of the club. So this is a wonderful achievement and celebration for South African football.
What does this mean for the country's football? Because it will also give more weight to arguments to include more South African teams to compete in continental club competitions.
Well, I think absolutely. Now attached to the winner of the Champions League is the opportunity to play in the Club World Cup. So Sundowns will go now and play in Osaka, Japan on the 11th of December, their first match in the FIFA Club World Cup. It's another platform for South African football. But for us, we go into the World Cup qualification 2018 for Russia. And this, I think, will give all the players a boost, that we are competitive and we can qualify for major competitions, as Sundowns has just qualified for the Club World Cup. We need to qualify for Russia 2018.
Earlier on, I spoke to the public relations officer from the ABSA Premiership, Mr. Lux September. He was saying that the discussion to add another team or the inclusion of another team when it comes to the CAF Champions League or the CAF Confederations Cup, that'll be a discussion between SAFA and CAF. Is that correct?
Yes, we would like to see more teams, and in the CAF competitions, particularly in the CAF Champions League. And so both from an organizational point of view, to look at fixture congestion, to look at the issues always between players being available for the club versus the country, and also being available for CAF competitions at national level with the national team, as well as for the clubs in CAF and FIFA competition, is quite something to manage in one football calendar year. So those are the things that we have to sort out, because on the other side, player burnout is a real issue, and we just have to manage the congested fixtures and provide opportunity for the teams and the clubs of South Africa to really perform at the level of CAF and FIFA.
It's getting very, very loud here, and it looks as if they are setting up that podium to actually start welcoming the team that have already landed. But Danny, when it comes to the amount of spots for South African clubs in the CAF Champions League, does Mamelodi Sundowns winning the CAF Champions League automatically mean that we're going to maybe see 3 or 4 South African clubs qualify for the CAF Champions League?
Well, unfortunately, our history militated against that. CAF gave us 3 slots. There was a reluctance on the part of South African clubs to take it up. So CAF did not make that offer again. We're going to have 2 teams in the Champions League. But it's something that we'll continue to raise with CAF and see, because it is a huge opportunity for both club and the players to compete on the continental level. And when we play Egypt, most of the Sundowns players have played. There were many Egyptian players in Zamalek's team that you've seen these players before. You competed against them. You're not going to see them for the first time when they put on the country's jersey.
Obviously, we can see today what it means for the country. You mentioned the South African club's reluctance to actually pick up that 3rd spot. Will SAFA perhaps maybe offer some support towards the PSL clubs that maybe are showing a reluctance, or maybe do an education campaign with them? Because this means so much for the country.
Well, I think if any club was not convinced, I think this would convince them, because it is the fans that shows the clubs the importance of trophies won and how they appreciate continental achievement. To walk in any country on this continent and walk there as the African club champion is very, very significant. And I think that many of the other clubs will feel the pressure that they have to go in there and try and be not just domestic champions in our league, but continental champions and hopefully world champions, because this is the opportunity that Sundowns now has to go to the world and play against the best clubs in the world.
Lovely. So some of those teams that are going to be competing in the FIFA Club World Cup include Real Madrid as well as Atletico. They have the continental champions from the 6 different continental club champions that will actually be competing in the tournament. That was Dr. Jordaan chatting to us here on One Life. Thank you so much for your time. All right, so it's time now to go back to the studio. Palesa is standing by.